Yeah, hello and welcome back. And here we go. This has been a year in the making. I mean, it literally has. I ordered this from one of the Facebook groups probably over a year ago, and then because of the friggin' pandemic hitting, it got stuck over in Hong Kong because they weren't shipping anything over. I think it was £3 in weight. So it was literally stuck over there for freaking months and months and months. And it was getting to the point where it got to the point actually I ordered another one from eBay um, to find out that basically that one was basically well, I can't say it's a rip-off merchant yet because maybe he wasn't, maybe it was just the fact that he couldn't get them. But the way it looked to me was definitely a rip-off merchant, because he basically sent us a letter through, but it had it stated as being the actual item that he'd sent. And I was like, whoa, what the hell is this? And I just thingy through eBay, sent him a message back through eBay, sort of stating, hang on, I do not want eBay thinking you've sent me my item when all you have sent me is a letter going on about the item. And yet you've sent it as if it is the actual item you've sent. I said, I'm not having that crap. The next thing I know, I get me money back. So whether they were trying to be a rip-off merchant or not, I don't know. It is the same people though, or the same person that Dean Knight's been having an issue with as well. So, but I'm not going to call it a rip-off just yet because I did order a couple of other items before those ones, which I'm not sure even if they're actually out yet or not. I've ordered a Sarkatano, and I also ordered an IG11 through the same guy. I don't know if the second batch has been released to them yet, so I don't want to think just in case it is, think okay, and he does send them ones through, not because he has got a 98% rating, which just seems a bit weird that would happen, but I got my money back on this figure that I had from him. But this one's eventually come through now, and I couldn't be more happy. Yeah, I couldn't be more happy. I did have to pay an extra tenner because they did end up going through a different firm in order to get it sent across here. So I did have to pay an extra tenner, but an extra tenner on what I'd paid for this originally anyway was out. It still made it under what I would have to have paid if I was to decide to buy it on secondary market, So, but I mean, the box itself, beautiful. So I've got to say, thanks very much, Phil Green, for coming through again. I knew for a fact I would with you, and I knew I didn't have any problem. I knew I would eventually get it. It was just a case of how long I would have to wait for it. Back of the box, very simple, not much to it. Side carries on from the front. I think that's pretty damn good. The box itself looks really mint, and obviously the Star Wars bit will be upside down because of the way I got it. Again, it's got the shoe style box. Let's see how easy that is to get off. See what's underneath that. And what you have on the inside. You'll have seen all these anyway, like from a year ago. But it might be nice to get a refresher for those. Maybe that's had the same difficulty I've had, and I'm still waiting for it, or what have you. But there you go. Beautiful looking thing. Drop that down. Hey, look at that. That. I've got to find now whether after all this it's been worth the wait. But my initial reaction is just seeing that there. It's like, yeah, it was definitely worth the wait. But what it's going to be like in hand, and when I'm starting to sort of mess around with it, we'll sharp fin it. But first things first, let's get all the stuff out of there, put it in the light box, just see how it looks. And here, guys, all the accessories. And holy shit, is there a lot of them. Where do you even start? The only thing is, for me, is again, I'd love somebody from Hot Toys to explain it, or if anybody else knows out there to explain this, is why do you get more hands for one side than you do for the other? just doesn't seem thingy. It seems like, well, why not just make an even amount of hands that you can swap out to make it thingy? Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to make more hands for one side than it is for the. I know most people, or there is a lot of people out there that are right-handed, so yeah, he's making more right hands than he's making left. But it seems really weird when it's going to be just as easy to make the molds to do an even amount. But hey, well, that's just me, you know, that's just me. So first things first, get some of these thingies out of the way. You have your dynamic flight pole. It's no more different than any usual ones. You do have this little pole here, which is obviously used for baby Grogu, which is obviously you can see right here that the baby Grogu and what have you are missing. Okay, that's because I'm basically doing them as a character rather than as like being an accessory, you know, that it's the way it is. But that would be used to hold up his pram, so that's pretty cool. And obviously you have a normal grabber, which is always good that you've got a grabber with this bit on, because then it means you can have it in sort of either direction in order to help with dynamic poses. So that's pretty good. You do obviously have the top of his pram, which again, just like the weather and what have you that's on there, it's beat up, and it just looks great. Paint effects is amazing as per usual. Yeah, you don't expect anything different really from Hot Toys. You know, you expect to get the weather, and you've got your normal thingy base. You know, obviously that little bit that's on there, but obviously this bit of the base bit, you know, we're not sort of thingy with that, because the fact is you've got the feet there, and that's basically how we want you to position it, type of thing. It makes it for not too good of a thing on that behalf. If they'd just made it like the sand without the feet effect in there, it probably would have been pretty spot on for 99% of the things, you know. Lovely the fact that they've got the Mandalorian on the front there and Star Wars written on. This bit's the one that's better. You know, it has something to it. You know, paint effects again are great. The fact that you've got sort of like little rocks sticking out of it is great. And obviously, I know most of you've seen it, but for those that might not have, then you know, this is the bit that just pops out in order for your thingy bit there to pop into. Goes into there. That's so that's a doddle. Yeah, nice thingy. You just got to basically find the position again to put your thing in, put your rock back in, and boom. So I think that's pretty good. I like that. Chance of us using it, because it's got this bit on, is remote, but maybe, I don't know, I might be able to find some way of making it work. But if not, well then, hey, you know, it's still nice to have, and it just slips onto the side like that. You could probably put it on the other side if you wanted it that side. You could probably put it onto that side as well, you know, so it doesn't make much difference. You can have it either side. That's pretty cool, pretty cool. We do have batteries, so there's obviously some form of light up effect going to be on there, which I'll take, it's probably for this bit, but we'll get more into that shortly. You have the customary extra wrist pegs, which also looks like it's got something else inside of there with it, just in case something drops off the Mandalorian, I'm taking probably. We have this thing which you got with the first Mandalorian, if you managed to pick him up. He's well worth picking up if you haven't got him, because he's a great looking figure. Yeah, you got that, which was used to, obviously, it's a tracker. I'm not sure why you would need it on this one, because by the time you were sort of wearing this armor, you already had him, but you know, you get it, it's there, so why not? We have this thing, basically the grappling hook thing. Now I was concerned about the wire itself, but this actually is a nice sturdy bit of metal. You know, you will bend it if you put too much force through it. You know, it's not like it's pretty absolutely solid, but it does have a bit of sturdiness to it, so it would hold that position if you had it going through his thingy. So that is pretty damn cool. You know, you don't have to worry about it, and I would think that it possibly wouldn't really warp too much over time. You have one of these little things, which is basically, I think, was like a bomb that attached to whatever he needed to attach it to. It just basically stuck to something, and that was it. And it would delay a counter. So that was pretty cool. There you get that. But this little thing here, which is just fantastic. See if I can home in on that rather than my hand. That's a bit better. There you go. So it's got a nice little bit of detail to it, considering how small it is. I mean, it literally, you can see by the size of my hand and by the size of my colours just how small that item actually is. Yeah, but that's to go on Baby Grogu. I think that's pretty damn good. Really well how they've managed to get so much detail into something so bloody small. Yeah. You have this thing, which again to me is just like a throwaway piece of art. Chances of me using that is like pretty much zero. You know what I mean? Unless I wanted to do some sort of just a quick photography thing with it. But really, even then, I think chances of me using that is about zero. But it's cool that you get them. You know what I mean? For those that do love doing that photography and do thingy, maybe they'll use it with something else instead. But there you go, and you do get it, and that's a cool sort of little thingy. And then we'll have this bit, which much obviously attached to his wrist, because it's I believe it's the whistling birds, if I'm correct. Let's hope I am correct. Otherwise, I guarantee some bugger will pull us up and thingy. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Trying to get it to home in on it is like pretty damn hard to do. So you can see that's sort of nice, very, very small, but also has enough detail on there. Just wish my camera would home in a bit better, but it's not wanting to for some reason. No, it's not going to do it, but there you go. See how professional I am? Got all the tools to do the job. And there you go. That bit is for the side of his helmet. Again, it's something I'm not sure that I'll put on there, but again, at least you get it. You know, it's a nice additional piece. My camera is struggling today for some reason. There you go. So all these really small parts. My camera wouldn't have an issue. It's just me. I need to learn how to use it better. That's what the issue is. It's not the camera itself, because the camera itself is an amazing camera. It's me learning how to use it properly. Because probably for something as small as these, I probably need to really turn it into the macro friggin' lens thing for it, and it would probably be a lot better. And then of course we have these things, which those obviously magnetized on, so you can have sort of a couple of separate pails, all of them nicely together like that again. Yeah, it's sort of beautifully made. I love the fact that they've got the waviness in there, like it has been sort of melted down and turned into these bars. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You do get a one on its own. Yeah, like you see, the details to it now are just fantastic. I love that thing. Don't know, that one's not magnetized at all, so you couldn't use that one in the same way. Oh, we'll leave the big guys till at the end. Then we have this thing, which was obviously to put that inside of. I'm not exactly sure just yet how it opens, because I haven't read the instructions yet, because I was just too eager to literally get in here and just look at it and see it and have a thingy with it. But again, yeah, the levels of detail to it, the scuffing and what have you, the paint work, the apps, everything else there is just really, really good. It even sort of looks like it could be a button or something, but I don't think it depresses. Then we have his armor piece. It's a swap out piece, very easy to put on, just a bit of velcro in there. It's funny how inside you've got almost like the details of where it's could have been slashed and damaged and what have you, but on the outside it's like sort of fresh and it's clean, and has the, was it the mud horn? I think it's the mud horn design on there. I think that's pretty cool. It looks really nice. We do have this little small blade. Again, I mean, just look at the weather and effects on there. That's, you know, damn cool. How good that looks, you know. It sounds like I'm gushing a little bit. It's because I've been waiting so damn long, you know. I mean, if you wait for something over a year, and when it eventually arrives, you've either got one of two ways it's going to go. Either one, you're going to gush over it and be like, oh wow, this is just absolutely amazing because you've been after it for so long, or because you've waited so long, you could be just going, just not that thingy. But I literally am absolutely delighted to have this guy. Gun looks pretty good. You know, be very similar and probably be exactly the same as the one that you got with the, what's completely classed as the OG Mandalorian. We got these bits to go into his jetpack, which is always cool. I love those little effects, look amazing. We have this one here, which I think just is absolutely fantastic as well. Yeah, sort of got that sort of translucenty thingy to it. But also his flamethrower, so that'd be something that would plug into his wrist. That's cool. And of course, we have this effect, which I just think looks absolutely stunning as well. I believe by the looks of that, that's the whistling birds coming out. I just think that's, I don't know, everyone, that's just really, really cool effect. It's going to be a case of now, it's like, how do you pose the bugger up? Because you have so many different ways he can be posed and done. That's like how, I'm going to have to bloody watch a few people's videos on how they've got them posed and see what I can sort of steal from them. So you'll probably not see a proper pose up on today's one, because I've got to have the time to go and look. This time around, no thingy, so it must be magnetised, which is a much better way of doing it, I suppose. As long as the magnet's strong enough to hold, then it's a better way of doing it than having to try and hook it on like what you did with the Boba Fett one. The Boba Fett one was a really nightmare to get on. And then of course we've got the big gun, the big guy. Again, I just love that effect. You know, it looks almost sort of like it is wood. The weathering to it just looks absolutely stunning. Beautiful gun. I'm sure this will come off like it did in the first one, but it looks like it possibly could. I don't want to pull too hard just in case, because oh, there you go, it does come off quite easily as well, and it does have the little attachments there to attach it back on. So let's see if we can, how easy I can get that back on when I'm looking through the camera. Yes, there you go. It goes on quite easily as well once you get it in the right position. And it just looks really cool. And like I say, I just love the paint apps on these type of things. You know, it makes it look like it's been fired off a good few times. You know, it goes to this like bluey style here. You know what I mean? Like silver going through gold, going through the blue. Like it's just been fired off a good number of times. Really cool piece. So there you go, guys. That is the majority of the accessories without going into the thingy of Baby Grogu, which is what we're going to get out next. And we'll have a look at the two variants that you have of Baby Grogu. And here is the two Baby Grogus, or Grogus, because we don't know how much of a baby is. I reckon he's about 50-year-old anyway, which, you know, these are your Grogus. And I think they just look absolutely superb. Now this is a nice solid piece. Yeah, you obviously don't get any articulation in the hands or anything, which is a bit of a shame. It would have been nice to have the chance to move them. But you do get articulation in the head. Yeah, so you can sort of have them sort of looking a little bit up, a little bit down. Not loads, there's not loads of motion in it. But you can turn his head to side, which is still pretty damn good, and it brings a little bit more life to the character. You know, you see he looks great as it is. I mean, just look at him, so bloody cute. Yeah, I mean, it would be something that I would be nice if I could afford to buy him eventually. God, I wish I could get my words out. Eventually buy him in the life-size version, you know, but he just looks so cute. Looks really good, and that's a really nice piece. Kind of going wrong with that. It does its job, and it's got a little bit of weight to it. You know, it does have that little bit of weight to it, so it's not bad at all. I quite like that. And then of course you've got this one. If I can keep me still steady, because obviously the camera's on a very close-up lens on this one now. So again, the head does move a little bit, not massively. Sorry about that little pause, guys. I just had to knock it off because there's a dog decided to go ballistic outside me thingy, and then straight after that I had an airplane flying over, so it was really cool. But there you go. And like I said, you get a bit of the articulation in the head, no articulation in the arms again, but you do, you know, the pram itself does look cool, does have that weathering to it, you know, so I think that's really good. You do have the thing in the bottom there, but that's just really well cool. Yeah, we'll try again. There's another dog outside, decided to go mental. So as you can see as well, you can see the eyes on it look glazed. You know, it has a glazed look, which is what it would have. You know, so you can pull them out, but he's obviously, you can see there, it's not the full thing that you're going to get. You know, but he is just magnetised in, so that's a pretty little sort of touch. If you wanted to use him that way, you could find some other way to use him, though it would be limited, obviously, because of the way he's shaped. But again, you know, he looks fantastic. The fact that you got that little bit of articulation in the head makes it sort of pretty good. And the fact that you get two. I mean, I think this, obviously, I got two because I bought the deluxe version. I don't know if you get two in the regular version or not. I'm not sure what you got in the regular version, to be perfectly honest with you. But the deluxe version was well worth it for what I've managed to get. It is a case of like what I'm going to use in the setup and how I'm going to set them up and how I'm going to have the baby Grogu's used, because I think both of them are going to have to be used. Yeah, so because obviously at the minute, I don't know how easy it'll be to show you, but what we've got is this guy is here, and yes, I know it's the wrong speeder bike for him. It's just I had the stat speeder bike in there, and I thought, well, I'll put him on it for now because I didn't have a Grogu to go with him, so the chances are I'll change that one up. Plus I would like to get actually the proper scout trooper to go on. Oh, I can see it still a bit. I would like to get the proper scout trooper to go on there, but it's going to have to be something I'll get in time, because right now I'm sort of picking and choosing what I can manage to pick up at the minute, because it's, as you know guys, they aren't exactly cheap, and so I'm having to pick and choose exactly which ones I'm picking up at the minute until such a time comes in where maybe I can go, okay, now it's time to go on a little bit more of a spend and spree and pick up a lot. But at the minute, these two guys just look so cute. But we're here now to get out the actual Mandalorian himself and see what he looks like. And here he is, guys. Beskar Mandalorian. God damn, is he just one of those characters that you just gotta love. You know, and you can almost sort of, for me, I can almost hear him talking and shit like that, you know what I mean? It's the only, I think, sort of issue that you can find with it straight off is the fact is that they've had the chance to change the actual sort of boiler suit part of it to make it the correct colour, yet they still haven't done that. It's sort of still wrong, you know. But other than that, you know, he looks fantastic. This armor plate, I've just been looking at it on the original, and it's actually a different armor plate there. It's sort of more battle damaged, and it's actually also sort of the actual paint apps on sort of this side of it are slightly different to what's on the original as well. So that one was sort of strange to us, because I would have thought it's, yes, you would have had more battle damage to it through the thingy, but the fact is you would have thought the actual paint apps would have been the same on the other side that hasn't been hit as hard, but it's not. It's slightly different, so maybe he's painted it up at some point and then it's been battle damaged after that. But everything else about this thing is pretty much the same as the original bar. Obviously he's wearing Beskar armor now rather than the thingy armor. I haven't changed the thing layout. This is exactly how he's came with. You know, the only thing I've actually done is I've put in the actual thingy there. I've put that in so I don't lose it. But he does look absolutely amazing, you know. We'll put him forward. So there you go, guys. That's the close-up of his head, or basically his helmet. What we've got for articulation wise in that, and yeah, it's pretty good. You can look down, it's a good way. You can go up, decent way. You couldn't do a flying pose again. It's one of those things with these things. You couldn't do a flying pose and have the head right up like so he's looking where he's going type thing, which is always a shame. You know, you do have a good amount of side tilt, and obviously the turn would turn completely round if you needed it to. Shoulder wise, let's have a look. Oh, I just knocked that thing out, so that's probably gone. Right, I went doing the bloody hole. Sorry. Shoulder wise, that's it. Again, I think like the fat suit, there's possibly a fat suit underneath this one as well, is going to hinder some of the articulation, because that doesn't want to go up any higher than that, which is a bit of a shame, but that's the way it goes. Again, you do have a butterfly joint there. You do have a bicep swivel. Going forward, again the suit, you can move it, but the suit, you can see it's starting to pull there. So, but it can't get that high. Let's have a look at it going back over. Yeah, going back over. It's about the same. What do I have for bicep wise? Oh, a lovely little double bend in the biceps wise and the elbow, so that's cool. And obviously you're going to have the normal wrist peg there. Waist articulation wise, I don't think you're going to get really anything there, because of the fact he's obviously got the armour on, and the fat suit is going to sort of stop him from having any sort of massive amount of motion there, which is always a shame, but that's the way it goes. Legs wise, come on guys, we know what we're going to get with legs. It's always the same. So that's as far forward as you're going to get it. Backwards, well now we're just not even going to get, it's not even worth trying to do it backwards one for them. Knee isn't hyperextending forward, though you've got a nice massive double bend at the knee, and of course the ankle is a split boot design by the looks of that, so you are going to get snap the thing off. Hang on a second guys, so let me try again with that one. I've just snapped it back into place again, so you're going to get a decent way down. Obviously you've got to watch when you're pulling it forward. I've showed you how easy it can be done when you're trying to push the joints a bit too much, then it can easily just be popped off, but it just pops back on very easily as well. So as long as you don't constantly do that, then you should be okay, because that's one of the things that I have to watch for, because I don't like using the stands. So it's a case of, for me, I need these to be as tight as I can get them in order to make sure that it can stand without having to be on a stand, if you know what I mean. Yeah, but again, like if you look at the sort of details in here, all these things, I don't know whether these ones will actually move so much. By the looks of them ones, no, they're fixed in. Yeah, but the details and that around here, and in the boots, it does have details on the bottom. Yeah, sort of love this. This is like raised up, and it just looks fantastic. You know, the hands. You've got these thingy for where his gun will go. That one's magnetized, so you can put the gun through there. You also have the split, which is supposed to be there, because I have seen a lot of people on Facebook going, "Oh, cape's ripped, shall we send it back?" Some of them have got to be taking their piss. Others, maybe they just haven't really sort of thingied with Hot Toys stuff before and don't realise. So, you know, that is supposed to be there to allow the gun to go through. You can see the shine and sheen to the Beskar armour. It looks absolutely brilliant. Yeah, and it does have a paint app on here, so you can see slight thingies to it. The levels of detail. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, these things will and can be removed. You do have his Beskar armour on the back plate. These ones are the same, they can be removed if they needed to. Same with that one. Yeah, got his gun holster and everything there. Damn good design, damn good thingy. Looks absolutely amazing. And I'm just so happy I now have him. It's just a case I'm going to have to watch a few videos to get the pose that I really want out of him. But for now, guys, that is the Mandalorian. So thank you very much for those I've watched all the way through. Like I say, I'm not going to put him into a pose right now for you, because literally I'm going to have to look at a few and see how I'm going to do it, because obviously I'm going to be using both of the baby Grogu's up. Probably the one in the pram will be with the original, the OG one, and then the one outside of the pram will be with this guy. And one of the things I do want to have a quick look at is obviously this thing, to see how easy it is. I mean, you can see there, look at that. It's sort of sticking on nicely. It's got a good enough hold. It's doing the job. Yeah. It's not going to be that much different. And I think it is holding sort of nicely enough. Yeah. Even if you had it over the top of his cape, which obviously that's not how you would have it anyway, but it is holding in place well enough, so that's pretty cool. So there you go, guys. That is the Mandalorian there for now. The chances are I probably will have him posed with this thing on in some sort of dynamic style pose, and because sort of these type of things look really good, chances are I may end up having something like that on, or the fire one on, or something like that. It's going to have to be sort of quite dynamic and quite looks really good. But there you go, guys. So thanks very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, if you want to leave a comment, then please do so. And again, thanks very much, Phil. You come through again, mate. At some point in the future, if I see you putting something else on that I really want, I will come through you again, buddy. Yeah, I just hope it doesn't take as long to get the product as what it has this time round, because by God, that was one hell of a long wait to get it. But I can honestly say, guys, definitely well worth that wait for me. You know, definitely. I just wish Dean Knight had managed to get one when he wanted it, because I think he would have really sort of enjoyed posing it up, and I think he would have really enjoyed having it in the collection. But anyway, guys, that's me done. Now time for me to go and watch a few videos and what I hear myself. So this is the Bearded Nerdy Oaf, and I am out of here.
So what I believe you were trying to say is thank you.
Thank you?
You're welcome.
What? No. I didn't. I wasn't. Why would I ever say that? I mean,
Okay.